I literally just saved a woman who was about to jump off the Greater New Orleans Bridge. And I ain't talking about talked her off the ledge. I pulled her, yanked her off the ledge. And I'm going to give you the entire chain of events in this video. And I did it while I was DoorDashing. That's right. As I was driving the G&O Bridge from the West Bank, Gretna, to bring somebody their sushi on a Sunday evening, I was driving across the G&O Bridge. And this happened 2 days ago on Sunday. Today's Tuesday. And I had to get my thoughts together to even make this video. I really didn't want to make this video, but my wife said it would be a good idea to share it and explain everything that happened because it was just that crazy. I was on my way to drop off some sushi on Chapatula Street. Well, I was taking Chapatulas going to Magazine Street in New Orleans, and traffic was flowing. It was probably 30-ish minutes before sunset on Sunday evening. Man, everything was smooth sailing. I had a good DoorDash order, the first order of the evening, which was $22 and some change. And I was driving across the G&O Bridge, and I'm driving and I'm listening to some music, and I'm in my zone, really positive zone. I'm in a positive place. And all of a sudden, as I'm driving all the way on the right lane, heading over the G&O Bridge, you can see kind of cars in front of me kind of hitting their brake lights, and some of them are kind of easing over to the left. And further ahead, I can see that there's a stalled car, and it's not on the shoulder, but it's all the way on the right-hand lane, which is the furthest toward the Mississippi River. It's the one that's closest to the outside the bridge, not the inside the bridge. So I drive past this car. I look inside the car to see if anybody's in it, and nobody's in it. So my first thought was, oh man, somebody's car broke down, and I guess they're got somebody to pick them up, or maybe the tow truck company picked them up and they're bringing them to get some gas. They're going to come back and get gas. But I still say, that's dangerous. They should have pulled it on the shoulder. Maybe they couldn't move it on the shoulder. That's what I was thinking. But as I looked ahead, I seen other cars stopping on their brake lights. And I'm like, what now? Because we had already made it past the stalled car. And you can see this lady, and she was walking up and down the median on the bridge, you know, the all the way over toward the outside of the bridge, which there's the small medium, and over that is the Mississippi River. And she's literally almost on the center of the bridge, in the center of the Mississippi River. And she's kind of clawing at herself like this, and she's pacing. And I'm like, man, she looks frantic. You know what I mean? And I said, man, maybe she's pissed off that her car broke down, and she's just kind of mad she's stuck on the bridge. And I'm like, that's not safe, man. She needs to just go stand by the car until a state trooper or a police officer can help her. And I look, and then all of a sudden I see her, and all the cars ahead of me are hitting their brakes and standing on their brake lights. And this woman is looking over the edge of the bridge. And the Mississippi River is all the way down to the bottom. This is the roughest part of the Mississippi River going through New Orleans. Treacherous river traffic. We're talking about international ships, nonstop barges. It's right near the cruise port terminal. There is heavy current. This is as dangerous as it can get. Furthermore, you don't even want to just walk. You don't even want to try to swim in that part of the river because you can lose your life, much less stand on top the G&O Bridge and look down at the Mississippi River. The G&O Bridge, I don't know how many feet it is above the water line, but it's way up there because you got to think it's the only place where ships, once you get to Baton Rouge, there's a bridge in Baton Rouge. Ships can't go underneath that bridge through the river because the bridge is too far down. The Mississippi River Bridge is high up there because it was designed so international ships and shipping agencies can come in and out of the river to do business with the oil ports that are all throughout our area. Anyway, this woman staring down, and first thing I think, I'm like, oh man, somebody just jumped. And it was probably somebody in the car with it. That was my initial thought. I said, man, must have been her boyfriend, her husband, who she got in an argument with. And she's frantically kind of like, she's just pacing and she's kind of like, she's screaming. You can see her screaming and just kind of like, she's clawing at herself, literally. And I said, oh man, she's traumatized for what she just saw. And she keeps leaning over the edge and she keeps looking down and she walks and she looks down. And as I'm driving, next thing you know, you see, and she tries to get up on the edge. And that's when I said, oh, she's trying to jump off the bridge herself. And so I'm like, I start looking, and all of a sudden she gets off. She can't find a place to get up, and she almost gets up where there's a metal rail where you can hold onto the metal rail and stand and look over. But she walks away from that, and she gets on the ledge. She pulls her body up. By this time, I realize what's happening. There's already a couple cars that are already stopped way ahead. They got their flashes on. People are screaming. People are yelling at her. There's these two other dudes kind of coming at a distance, but I'm gonna tell you how all that unfolds in a second. And all of a sudden, man, when I realize she's doing that, I pull my car all the way to the lane on the outside of the bridge, and I just stop. I don't even throw. I'm not sure. I might have threw my hazard lights on out because I might have been thinking like throw the hazard lights on. I don't remember if I did or not, but I might have. And I jumped out the car and I made a U. Where she couldn't see me, because in my mind I knew that if she saw me running at her, she might jump. So in my mind, I'm trying to process everything that's going on. The only thing I'm thinking is I can't let this woman jump if I could stop it. And I run in a U-line all the way around, y'all. And she is on the rail. She has one of her feet completely off the rail, and she's about to move her other foot to go over the bridge. I grab her by her waist and I just sling her all the way back on the concrete. Boom! We fall down, and she, man, and this woman was a tall. She was not tall. She was a taller, skinny woman. I'm guessing she was in her 30s. She was a black woman, and I grabbed her and I slammed her down. Now, by the time I know people saw this. When I did it, when I ran and grabbed her, she didn't see me coming. I had energy in me that I couldn't even explain, y'all. And I am in so much pain right now. If you know, and you've been watching The Pin and the Shank for any amount of time, you know that I do DoorDashing because I have back injuries from work, and I suffer from extreme pain and mobility issues because of my back. And it was just the presence of God and the power of God that came over me for that moment of adrenaline to save this woman before she jumped off the bridge. So when I grabbed her, by this time, the two other guys who were coming from the New Orleans area and the West Bank area, to give you a perspective, she's where my face is, and I got her. I slam her back, and my hands are the two guys. By the time I slam her on the ground, they're on together. They're helping me, and we're like, hold her down, and everybody's screaming. Other people like, hold it down, and then now other people are, because we're holding and fighting with her, wrestling with her, because she's like, I'm unalive myself. I'm gonna unalive myself. And the only thing that I got was that she said they took my kids, or I lost my children or something. And I'm yelling, man, don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself. I say, don't blank yourself. Don't unalive yourself. And the people are like, hold it, don't let it go. Don't let it go. And I'm like, y'all help me. And these two guys help me. One guy helps me a lot more than the other guy, because the girl says, I'm gonna bite y'all if y'all don't let me go. And the one dude lets go. But there's this one other guy, and it was a black dude. He was roughly probably a little bit older than me. He had a white beard and a shaved head. I think he was wearing a white t-shirt, and me and him was trying to hold it. He was holding it from the front. I was holding back. And then somebody else tried to hold her feet, I saw, but then they let go when she started kicking and screaming and clawing. So, and she's trying to come out her clothes. Literally, she's coming out her top. She's coming, and we're trying to not to do anything inappropriate with this woman or get bit by this woman. And we're all trying to hold her at a distance. And I got her from the back of her arms like this. So her face is facing the other guy. I'm holding her arms, and I'm trying to hold her from the waist area down like this. And the guy, and we keep wrestling with her because she's squirming and kicking and fighting and yelling and screaming. And the other guys, I'm trying to hold him. And there's a lady in a black SUV, and she's sitting in the SUV, and we got her, and the SUV's parked all the way in the same lane toward the outside of the bridge. And we kind of got her pushed against the SUV, trying to put our weight on her so she won't move until the cops get there. The whole time, everybody's like, call the cops. I'm like, call the cops. And everybody's like, I called them. They coming. They said, hold it. Don't let her go. Don't let her. And I'm trying. She is fighting. She's like, let me go. I want to go to my car. Let me go. And then all of a sudden, somebody, I think, because you got to think, at this time, it's minutes. Other cars are pulling up. Most people are just passing by. And other cars are pulling up, so they don't know what's going on. They just see, at some point, they probably see just, man, what's this white dude fighting this black woman for? And because, it's mainly me. And the other guy comes and he's helping too. So now they're like, why are they fighting that woman? So somebody jumps out with their camera and they start filming. And she yells at him, why you clout chasing? Don't clout chase me. And she's yelling at the guy with the camera. He's like, I'm just trying to help you. She's like, don't clout chase me. And she starts kicking. And there was this other lady there too. And at first I thought that this lady knew her. But now I don't think that that's the case, because as I was talking to my wife, dissecting everything that happened, my wife brought, I'm pretty sure my wife's the one who brought this to my attention and made me ring that light bell, that light switch in my head, that she didn't know this woman, but this was another woman who pulled her car to the side and was also trying to help. And she must have heard her scream the same words that we heard. I lost my kids. I lost my kids. So I just assumed that because the girl was saying she lost her kids, that she knew her. But no, that's what the lady who was trying to unalive herself was yelling on top of the bridge. So she finally gets away. And she runs, and I'm thinking if she gets away from us, she's either going to throw herself over the bridge or she's going to run into oncoming traffic and get hit because she's so hysterical. Well, she gets out and she does run into traffic. Cars stop, slam the brakes and everything. They don't hit her. And she winds up going all the way back to her car. And I tried to chase her for a moment, but she was gone. She was way too quick. And I'm like, and I'm in pain, y'all. My back's hurting. I'm all ached up, because I can't handle this. And she gets in the car. She goes, by that time, we're all kind of looking like what happened. Oh, and while we had her on the ground at some point, like her whole body, we're all on her on the ground. There's like three of us. And this other lady comes, this white lady, and she gets on ground level with us, eye level. And she's trying to talk to her. Hey, calm down. They're just trying to help you. Calm down. You don't want to do anything stupid. Just calm down. Let us help you. And she's just yelling. And the lady's like, can I get you some water? And what can we do to calm you down? And so all kind of stuff is happening. And this lady darts out. She gets back in her car and she gets away. I'm thinking when the cops come, she's still down there, but that's when, you realize a lot's happening, man. My adrenaline's pumping. And this woman winds up getting away. And when the state police get there, the state police pull up and I flag them down. They pull up. I'm like, man, the lady was just trying to kill herself. And she's like, wait, and she jumps out and they run at the other lady that was there trying to help too. And this was a different lady. There was a white lady who was out the car, and she was the one who got on ground level and was trying to talk to her sensibly to get her to calm down. But there was this other black lady who was out there too trying to help. And that's who the cops ran at, because I'm sure everybody said there was a black female trying to jump off the bridge, wrestling with people on top of the Greater New Orleans Bridge. And so they ran at her. And then that's when, people, and I was like, and the lady was like, no, it wasn't me, it was somebody else. And they just jumped in their vehicles and took off. So I called my wife, and I got the DoorDash food in the car. And I call my wife. I tell my wife what happens, and I say, look, I got to call, I'm going to call 911, just let them know who I am in case they need me. And so I call my wife, and she says, all right, call 911. She sends out prayer requests, because we have a bunch of friends who are prayer warriors, and they pray. And she calls them, and everybody starts praying. And I call 911. I talk to 911. 911 tells me, thank you for saving that lady's life. And the state police now have the case, they're now on it. State police are taking care of it. And that's all I heard of it. And so they had my number if they need to call me. So I went on social media, and I thought, man, if somebody had this film, it's got to look crazy, everything that happened. But I looked, and I haven't seen anything on social media. And this happened a Sunday that just passed. And it was in New Orleans, coming from the West Bank. So if anybody sees this video and anybody knows what happened to that woman, man, please, reach out, share in the comments. I'm interested in how she made out. But yeah, in retrospect, you don't think about when it's going to happen. And this is the crazy part, y'all. There was other people who saw what this woman was about to do, but I'm talking beside like 4 or 5 people, 6 people who stopped and got out their car to help. Everybody just passed it up, because nobody wants to be involved in nothing no more. I just knew that I couldn't let this woman jump off the bridge. And I think through all the fighting and wrestling that we had tussled with this woman, she came to her senses, and that's probably why she just jumped in her car. She had to be exhausted. She had 3 guys on her trying to hold her down, and she was fighting us. and she was kicking and squirming, man. But once she started yelling, "I'm gonna bite you," man, everybody was kind of like, they didn't want it. I didn't want to get bit. That's why I had her by the arms. I tried to grab her from the back, the waist, and keep her face forward. And I was just trying to tell the other guy, you just hold her hands, man, just put pressure on her, trying to keep against that car ground. She's kicking. We get on, man. It was wild, y'all. And she got loose. She ran. I don't know what happened to her, but that happened while I was door dashing, man. So sometimes ex-convicts do things, and I might not be able to get a job at certain places, but there's times when I actually helped the state police and the New Orleans Police Department by preventing this woman from, unaliving herself and jumping off of that G&O bridge. I mean, y'all, she was, and in retrospect, I'm thinking she kept progressing. You got to think, she thought what she thought. She drove on top of the bridge. She parked her car. She got out her car. She walked to the center of the bridge. She began pacing, looking over, looking over, looking over. Then she climbed on top. Then she put a leg over. She was constantly thinking and bucking herself up, progressing. Her next step was to go over. And I came out of nowhere, grabbed this woman by the waist and threw her back. And I 100% saved this woman's life. And it's stuff like that you're going to watch my videos on the Pen and the Shank, the most unusual and unique crime and prison channel experience on YouTube. And you may see my comedic side and, my prison stories. And if you just watch one video of me, you'll base an opinion off me, but you don't see the bigger picture. But if you watch my channel for any amount of time and you consistently watch my videos, you understand who I am as a person. And I'm sure you have, respect for that. But if you don't watch me consistently, you may not understand my heart and who I am as a person and how much, I like to help society, invest in society, and make society a better place by being a better person, changing the person that I am. But if that woman ever finds out, I hope she's okay. I was not going to tell y'all the story. My wife convinced me to tell it, so I'm telling it. Give me a like, subscribe. Please comment down below, and please go check out some of my other videos. I have a wide range of videos and different things that I talk about, and I'm sure you'll find something that you will like and enjoy, man. Thanks for watching. And look, let's all be better people and do what we can to, put our own interests aside. Look, and then the persons who I was bringing the DoorDash food to, I got lost because my adrenaline was so pumping. The directions were off because it was on Magazine Street. I took Chapatulas, got on Magazine Street, and it was right near City Park. And the apartment was it was an Airbnb toward the back. It wasn't right on the street. I couldn't find the customer. It took me 15, 20 minutes to find the customer. My wife had people praying for me the entire time. And it was just a wild experience. And it's been less than 72 hours since that happened. It happened late Sunday, right when the sun was setting. And here we are on Tuesday. So it hasn't been 72 hours yet. And I'm hoping that, everything's okay. And that was the story, man. All right.